Main event on the FX card, and we're going to use this as a tiebreaker, Stevie. Former guest of the show, Patrick the Predator Cote, fights Bobby Voelker.
Mm-hmm. You go ahead.
Well, it's another one of those cases where someone's stepping up in weight or doing a weight cut, but it is Cote. Voelker, we saw him in Strikeforce. I'm going to say Cote, but I'm going to say Cote via split decision.
Mm-hmm. Now, I do like Cote. He was a very excellent guest on our show, and he's a very seasoned veteran, and that definitely benefits him in a lot of ways. But in that last fight, I wasn't so sure that things were going his way in that fight, and then there was a disqualification, and we all know what became of that. But now, man, I guess this is going to be the tiebreaker because I know Bobby Voelker is only just now getting into UFC competition, and before that, we saw him only in Strikeforce, and before that, it was like cards that only diehards would have seen, like World Series of Rumble and Titan Fighting, which was probably on HDNet back in those days. But anyway, it's just, you could say that he's untested, but at the same time, anybody that's had 30 professional fights or more is not untested, even if they've been in minor leagues or leagues where they haven't been seen. So I'm starting to feel like time is catching up to Patrick Cote, and I don't like saying that because I like him as a fighter and as a person, but I'm going to go with Bobby Voelker.
And Kev is going to break the tie. He's going with Patrick Cote.
All right, well, there's our swing fight.
First fight on the main card, Canadian Mike Ricci from the last season of The Ultimate Fighter fights Colin Fletcher, and I like Ricci in this one.
So do I. Fletcher, I had high hopes for him on the Soteropoulos versus Pearson card, and he looked very unimpressive on that, and I was surprised, in fact, at how bad he looked. And Ricci, I really had strong hopes for him on his season of The Ultimate Fighter, and it didn't pan out for him either, but I still feel like of the two of them, Ricci has much more potential.
Yeah, Kev's actually going to go with the underdog here. He's going with Fletcher.
All right.
Next fight has in the middleweight division, Chris Camozzi fighting Nick the Promise Ring, and I'm going to go with Chris Camozzi on this one.
It's kind of a shame that Chris Camozzi doesn't have a spectacular, flashy nickname going against the Promise Ring. It should be like Chris the Mountain Bear Camozzi or something.
Oh, jeez, the Mountain Bear?
I don't know. He's from California. They have lots of bears out there.
Well, his nickname is, does he have a nickname? No, it doesn't say a nickname.
I don't think he does. He needs like the Mountain Bear or something. And anyway, I'm going to make that my official nickname for him. I'm picking the Mountain Bear to win.
All right, and let's see what Kev picks. Kev makes the clean sweep. Everyone's picking Camozzi in this one. We go to the welterweight division for the first of 3 welterweight fights to end the show. The first up, Omaha's own Jake Ellenberger against Nate Marquardt, formerly of Strikeforce. Who do you have, Stevie?
Yes,
or do I have to even ask?
Jake the Juggernaut, not Nate the Great.
I'm going to pick Jake on this one as well. I was tempted to pick Nate, but then I remembered how he couldn't check a leg kick to save his life in his last fight. So, yeah, I think Ellenberger destroys him in the first round.
Yeah, I expect a KO as well.
And Kev is going the opposite. He's picking Nate to win here.
And then obviously he didn't watch that Tarek Safadine fight.
All right, semi-main event, and everyone is saying the unofficial number 1 contenders fight for the welterweight title. Carlos, the natural-born thriller Condit against Johny Hendricks. Kev is going with Carlos Condit. I'm going with Johny Hendricks. Stevie, you have to break the tie.
Well, oh man, talk about a tough fight to break the tie on, because both these guys have so much going for them. I mean, we already know what Condit is. He's the former interim champion. He was a phenom in WEC. He was owner of 5 straight fights until he fought George St-Pierre, and losing to George St-Pierre ain't no shame in your game, because he beats the best of the best. So you gotta say Condit is still right up there in the top of the division, but Hendricks, he has that awesome one-punch knockout, and we've seen him do it in 2 out of his last 3 fights. So it's hard to imagine a situation where Johnny Hendricks is not going to try to use that hand and just absolutely crush? Because he's got it. Why not use it? I mean, when you can hit somebody with a left like that and drop them with one punch, you might as well try. But Condit is such a seasoned veteran, and I'm not saying Hendricks is not. I mean, Hendricks has 15 fights, but Condit has almost twice as many, if not more than that. Let me check real quick. Yeah, he's got 35 fights counting this one. So it's one of those situations where I sort of feel like it almost would be better if Hendricks won, because he's probably the future of the division, and he's been knocking on that door of a title shot for a long time. But Condit is such a crafty veteran and such a good wrestler that if Hendricks tries to go out there and use his collegiate wrestling to take him down, I think he's going to get stuffed. And if he tries to go in there and hit him with a left hand, I think Condit just steps out of the way and takes him down. I guess I'm calling it for Condit.
The one thing about Johnny Hendricks, like, it's almost like someone who's skilled in, I don't know, let me say an armbar. You know it's coming. You can try your best to defend it, but it's like, you just know it's going to happen.
Yeah, but that's where you want to use the Rousey example, that's fine. But, I don't feel like it's the same, because Rousey sets it up with her judo that's so strong nobody can stop her judo takedowns. Whereas Condit and Hendricks are probably going to be on an equal level as wrestlers, because Condit's got that cage experience and Hendricks has that collegiate experience. And I feel like it's just going to be one of those situations where left hand coming, drop levels, take him down.
I don't know. I just think he's got enough power. Like, he knows that Condit is expecting it. You know what I mean? So if he's not expecting it, he's obviously not watching his tape. But, it's one of those things where if you know it's coming and you know that, like, Hendricks knows that Condit knows that Hendricks is going to do that. So, you know what I mean? Like, you got to play a chess game 3 or 4 moves ahead if you want to win this fight with that KO punch. But
right. And the thing is, Condit is known as the natural born killer for a reason. This guy finds every different way to win. Rear naked choke, armbar, TKO, guillotine choke. I mean, there's really not any way that Condit can't win a fight. He's versatile in every aspect of the game. So that's where I almost feel like Hendricks is a little too one-dimensional, because he's got the wrestling in the left hand, but if it goes to the ground, he can be outgamed on the ground by Condit and submitted.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you look at his last couple of fights, you've got Martin Kampmann, Josh Koscheck, John Fitch, and Mike Pierce. His last 4 fights, 4-0, 2 split decisions and 2 knockouts. He's either going to knock you out or outpoint you. I still am very confident in Hendricks winning this fight.
You're asking me to pick the fight based on what I think is going to happen, not based on what I want. What I want would be a Johnny Hendricks left hand knocking his ass out cold. That would be more fun. But I think in a points battle, Condit would outpoint him, and I think in a ground battle, he'd outjits him.
You know who I really want to hear from Carlos Condit, win or lose? I want to hear Condit's prediction for the main event, because he's been in the cage with both guys.
Exactly. I think he'd pick GSP.
You think so?
I have this very strong feeling that if he's asked that question in an interview, that's who he'll say, because honestly, between the two of them, GSP was definitely the better fight.
Now, we gotta talk the main event, GSP and Diaz. And for those who don't know, GSP is actually at tonight's Montreal Canadiens game. The Habs are in first place right now. Amazing, I know. They're playing the Ottawa Senators tonight, and GSP is there. He dropped the ceremonial face-off tonight.
Nice.
Nice little thing. There's pictures up on Facebook. I saw a few people taking pictures at the game or taking a picture of their TV. Whatever. It's kind of cool, but did you hear GSP's prediction, though, about Anderson Silva this week?
No, I didn't, but I was just going to say, that's the one thing you and I haven't done yet is go to an NHL hockey game together. So we got to do that one of these days. When we go to Montreal to watch a fight, we got to go to a Habs game the night before.
Well, we're peeling back the curtain a little bit here, folks. Me and Stevie were actually making plans to go to the Winter Classic, and the NHL lockout happens. That didn't happen, but who knows what will happen in the future.
Indeed. But no, what did he say? I don't know. Fill me in.
GSP said that Chris Weidman will beat Anderson Silva and do it easily.
Easily, he said.
Yes.
Oh, nice. Okay. Well, you know what, GSP? Thank you. You just got me about 1,000 more hits on my Chris Weidman interview on YouTube, so 2 thumbs up for that.
I saw that. It's a video. It's not an interview. It's an actual video of him saying it.
That's what I'm saying. I'm going to put my interview of Chris Weidman in reply to that video and get like 1,000 more hits just because of that.
Yeah, I'll read you the quote here. Chris Weidman is my friend, and I see him in training. I believe he's going to beat Anderson Silva. I believe it's a bad matchup for Anderson Silva, very bad. Not only is he going to beat Anderson Silva, I believe he's going to finish Anderson Silva. I believe it's not going to be too long, that fight. The people will be shocked.
You started saying it like GSP there at the end. You slipped into your GSP accent.
Yeah, I have a pretty good GSP accent. What can I say?
Yeah, well, you got that French that you can throw in there. You can give it that French style because you speak French.
Je parle français, mais je parle français un petit peu.
Si.
Taco.
Taco burrito.
Bacon and bacon and bacon. What?
Oh, I forgot. I haven't showed you yet.
Anyways.
I'm working on an epic mealtime parody.
Oh no. What's it called?
Yeah, it's called Epic Crunch Time.
Epic Crunch Time?
Yeah, Crunch, you know, the guy who does all our drops.
Get it.
You're listening to the Angry Marks podcast network. I was at Crunch's apartment, and we made an epic breakfast biscuit.
Coming soon, AngryMarks.com.
Indeed, you're going to be seeing that video real soon.
All right, well, main event time, GSP versus Nick Diaz for the welterweight championship, the main event for the UFC this weekend. I made my prediction on Live 88.5 this Tuesday. I say GSP wins, 3rd round knockout. Let's see, before Stevie gives his prediction, I'm going to look at Kev's predictions, and he is picking GSP beating Diaz. So, Stevie, the floor is yours.
Where are you at, George? Where are you at? I'm over here. I've got the belt around my waist because I just kicked your ass.
Do you think it goes 5 rounds?
No.
What round do you think it ends in? Really?
4th round finish. Yeah, I think he
do you think this
tags
goes
him for
to
the first
ground?
couple of rounds. I think he probably takes it to the ground several times in the 3rd round, and I think in the 4th round, once he's way ahead on points, he'll go out there and kill him.
See, I'm trying to figure out what would be more satisfaction for GSP. Would he get more satisfaction from making him tap out, or more satisfaction knocking him out?
I think he absolutely wants to knock him out.